Whoa. Okay. What's up, guys? My name is Alan. This is a video series where I report the high and the low of my day every single day as a form of gratitude and consistency. Today is day 22, and I'm going to veer off a little bit. I want to talk a little bit of where my mind's at and some, we could say philosophy, but I was thinking about it a lot more earlier, settled down, tinkered with my phone, ultimately started using a mic, uh, and I kind of got off track of what I was thinking. But where it started and where I'm grateful to start it at is I was having a conversation with my friend about um, pleasure and what is the opposite of pleasure. And I thought discipline and mentioned discipline, which was agreed upon in the conversation. And I don't know if discipline is on the other end of pleasure because there are there are different. If you place discipline in the first factor and choose what the antonym is, it pleasure to me doesn't seem like the first one in line. Now, temptation on the other hand does. Like, temptation might lead to pleasure, where temptation might lead you to falter in your discipline. And and on another chart that I recently saw, once again, so grateful, is uh, being alone. No, 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 no. I'm gonna actually. I don't remember this chart well enough, but it makes me think about one. I'm grateful for all the emotions that I feel, and critical of my conditions. Let me stop here and say, I love every cell in my body. I feel like I am, because I have the thoughts and questions that I have, is because I can handle them. And if I live within my circumstances, my visions, dreams, goals, whatever, can come to fruition. And I just wanted to say that I love every cell in my body, and every cell in my body loves me back. Uh, and today I've had the opportunity to reflect a little bit on some exploring that I've done, especially within my emotions. I feel I am somewhat a master of my emotions, and not yet a master of discipline. I would love to consider myself one. However, I haven't yet come up with a perfect recipe, hindsight quote. But emotions, however, I feel very comfortable with my emotions, and I think I can handle my emotions very well. While there might be times that I make mistakes, um, I'm always able to find a moment to reflect on these emotions and to soak them in and appreciate them. And I can just say that I'm very fortunate to be where I am. And if I can phrase it one way and one way only, I'll say that um, I love my wrist. My wrist is strong. I love every cell in my body, and every cell in my body loves me back. Done. So the people who are watching this video, well, we can go with the high of the day. The high of my day was probably giving a ride to this guy who was at the gas station. Now, he asked me if I spoke Spanish. I was so happy because no one would ever typically ask me that. I said, "Sí, yo hablo, obvio." Like, yeah, I speak, obviously. And he said, perfect. I follow him out of the store. He was like, he maybe had just come in or was on his way out as well. I was on my way out. And he walked me to a car where I set my coffee on the trunk, and I'm talking to this guy, trying to talk because he doesn't actually know very much Spanish. He said his father was Dominican and his mother was from Asia. He maybe even said China. I'm not 100% sure. There was a lot going on. And I asked him what he spoke. Did he speak English? Did he speak Spanish? He said yes to both, but he wasn't too fluent in either. And then he said he lived in Haiti. So I thought, wow, what an interesting family tree and a collection of languages that he knows the surface of. I want to say that he was speaking with me in French a little because I know people from around that region that do tailor towards a bit of French as a second language. versus what might be their first language. So I gave him a ride to a bank because he had no service on his phone and a bank card that he said he needed to use, that he could use at the ATM. He wanted an ATM. So I took him to an ATM. I gave him my phone number and said, if you can figure out a way to call me, I'll help you again, but I've got some work to do. The low of my day is while I was cutting grass today, my lawnmower died. I know a way to fix it that will just last hopefully another full day, and I've got to drop it off at the shop. So that could be the low of my day. Something nice that someone did for me today. I also include that on the videos, but today it's a little bit off topic because I'm just in the mood to talk about things like love and trust and changing your environment based on what is inside of you. I feel like I'm grateful now to acknowledge and reflect that I am the master of my emotion, and I have the ability to control what is inside of me and my thoughts and my feelings, and nourish them as well as appreciate what's around me. I did see a clip today about being too self-aware and in the moment all the time, and I feel like I've had the opportunity to step away from being self-aware and so critical to enjoying a moment, and now I'm able to become a moment of hindsight in my mind, that I can look at the situations here and think critically, as well as feeling the emotions that God intends us to feel. And I'm grateful to be here. Thank you guys for watching day 22 with a mic and whatever. We're going to keep trucking. Thank you. Peace.